All right, for number 7, we're asked to solve this equation. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is get rid of that radical. Notice that the entire left side of this equation is under the radical, so we can go ahead and, right from the beginning, square both sides of this to get rid of that. So let's square both sides. So we get 5 plus 2x squared is equal to the square root of x squared minus 2x plus 1 squared. So this side, the radical and the square, they're going to cancel each other out. And we're just going to be left with x squared minus 2x plus 1. On this side, we need to FOIL this. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 5 times 2x is 10x. We're going to have 2 of those, so this is 20x. And then 5 times 5 is 25. On the other side, as I said, we're just going to be left with x squared minus 2x plus 1. All right, now since we've got both x squared and x terms here, we're going to need to get this equal to 0. So let's get everything from this side over to here. So let's subtract x squared. We'll add 2x, and we'll subtract 1. And we'll do that from both sides. And over here we're left with 3x squared plus 22x plus 24 is equal to 0. All right, now to factor that, I like to, whenever there's a term in front of the x that we can't get rid of, I like to factor this by grouping. First, split this middle term. And so to know how we're going to split that middle term, we need to multiply 3 times 24, which is 72. And we're going to take that number. We need 2 numbers that multiply to 72 and add to 22. So that's going to be 18 and 4. So we're going to split that 22x up into 18x plus 4x. And then we can group these, and we'll factor a 3x out of this. We're left with x plus 6. And we'll factor a 4 out of this. We're left again with x plus 6. Now we've got an x plus 6 in both terms, so we'll factor that out. We get x plus 6 times, over here we're left with 3x, over here we're left with 4, and that's equal to 0. So if x plus 6 is equal to 0, x is equal to negative 6. 3x plus 4 is equal to 0, then x is equal to negative 4/3. All right. Now, we've found some solutions, but remember, whenever we're solving radical functions, we're always going to want to go back and check our solutions, because whenever we square both sides of an equation, sometimes that gives us some extraneous solutions, some solutions that don't actually work when we plug them back in. So let's try these. Let's plug in negative 6. So if we plug in negative 6 here, we get 5. Negative 6 times 2 is negative 12. So 5 minus 12 on one side. On the other side, we get the square root of negative 6 squared is 36. Negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. So plus 12. And then plus 1. So 36 plus 12 is 48, plus 1 is 49. The square root of that is 7. But notice that the other side of this equation is 5 minus 12, which is negative 7. So that is not a solution. We're going to reject this negative 6 as a solution. Let's check negative 4/3. So here we have 5 plus negative 4/3 times 2x. That's going to be negative 8/3 is equal to the square root of negative 4/3 squared is 16/9. Negative 4/3 times negative 2 is positive 8 thirds, which is 24 ninths. Go ahead and create a common denominator so that we can add those together. And then plus 1, which is 9 ninths. So on this side we get 16 plus 24 is 40, plus 9 is 49. So the square root of 49 ninths is going to be, square root of 49 is 7, square root of 9 is 3. So we have 7 thirds on this side. And on this side, 5 is the same as 15 thirds. 15 thirds minus 8 thirds is 7 thirds. So this checks out. So our solution to this is going to be x equals -4 thirds.